Hi everybody! In this video, we are going to see how you can migrate a map from Gathertown to WorkAdventure. If you are here, it's probably because there has been some changes on the Gather side, and with the release of Gather 2, they are really strongly increasing the price, removing the freemium account or removing use cases like events or conferences. So if you are still wondering, yes, WorkAdventure is really the best alternative out there. It's looking very much like Gather One. It has a generous freemium account. It's cheaper, and we are committed to keeping events and conferences a valid use case too. If you don't believe me, let me make a really quick demo. There, as you can see, we have a pixel world out there, and if I move next to colleagues, I can say hello. Hi guys. So the purpose of this presentation is not to show you how WorkAdventure works. The best idea for that is to click on the register link and to just try it out. It's free. In this video, I'm going to specifically show you how you can migrate the map from Gather to WorkAdventure. So we have several different scenarios. The first scenario is you might be using a Gather preset map. Gather comes with some preset maps. If you are using so, bad news, you cannot use your Gather map inside WorkAdventure because it's a property of Gather, and their terms and conditions do not allow you to reuse this map. But the good news is that WorkAdventure has a bunch of preset maps too, so you can just pick one of our maps and get started. It's the easy scenario. If you are in this case, you can just bypass completely this video, click on the register link and just get started. Now, maybe you spend quite some time customizing your map to feel at home, and here you can have really two cases. One is that maybe you already set up a map using a custom background and foreground. In this case, we will need to extract the background and foreground from Gather. We are going to load it into Tile, which is an offline map editor, and WorkAdventure knows how to load Tile files. So then when we migrate it to Tile, we are going to upload that into WorkAdventure. The last use case is that maybe you used the Gathertown map maker to design your map. In this case, we can fall back to the previous scenario. Basically, you can still download the background and the foreground and load it in Tile. However, any assets that is used by Gather cannot be used into WorkAdventure because of the Gather terms and conditions. So you will need to replace those assets before importing them into WorkAdventure. Good. So let's get started. The first step is to connect to your custom map in Gather. Inside Gather, so here I have a custom map. You can click on the Customize button here, and you can open the map maker. Inside the map maker, I have my map loaded, and you can go here and click background and foreground, and you can download the background. So we are going to save it in my download directory. I'm going to call it background there, and I'm going to download the foreground too and save it, same thing, into a file I'm going to call foreground. Okay. Now I need to put that into Tiled. Maybe you never heard about Tiled. Tiled is an offline map editor that we use in WorkAdventure to edit custom maps. In order to download tile and everything you need, my advice is to connect to docs.workadventure.re, click on the map building link, then on build your map with tile, and at the beginning of the document you have all the requirements that will be needed. So the link to the tile editor is here. You can download it from mapeditor.org. This is not the only thing you will need. We will also need Node.js, which is a tool that can be used to upload the map. So on the download page, my advice is to use the Windows installer if you are using Windows. If you are using a Mac, you will have a Mac button here. And the last thing we are going to need is the WorkAdventure Map Starter Kit. The WorkAdventure Map Starter Kit is a tiled map with a few tools that are needed to upload the map on WorkAdventure. I already installed tiled and Node.js on my system. If you haven't done so yet, please do it now and come to the video later. Now, for the WorkAdventure Map Starter Kit, you will find it on GitHub, and you can download it on the code button by clicking download zip. If you are a developer, you know it's GitHub, so you can clone the repository. But if you are not a developer, the easiest way to do this is to click download the zip. And when you have it, you can just extract the files. Okay. So here are the files of my map starter kit. I can open file named tmj with tile that I just downloaded. So if you open office.tmj, you should see our basic map. What we are going to do is basically we are going to remove everything from it. I still advise you to start from this map rather than starting from scratch, because there are a few settings that are important and that are hard to reproduce. So just start from here, and inside tile you will see you have a bunch of layers. If you press on the H key on your keyboard, you can more easily see the layers. And you have a bunch of tile sets that you can directly put on the map. For instance, if I want to put a picture here, I can do it this way. What we are going to do is we are going to delete everything. So everything in the above layer I'm going to remove. Furniture, remove. I'm only keeping the floor layer because it's compulsory. Collisions, we are going to use that to add collisions later. And the start layer, which is telling where we are supposed to start. Okay. Now I'm going to add a new layer that I'm going to call background, and I'm going to put it just below the floor layer. And I'm going to create another tile layer that I'm going to call foreground, and I'm going to put it just above the floor layer. Now I need to import my images. To do so, let's go back to the downloads folder. I'm going to take the background and the foreground images, and I'm going to copy and paste those inside the map. There is a tileset directory which is quite useful, so you can put them here. I'm going back in tiled, and in tiled, in the tileset section, I'm going to click new tileset. And I'm going to browse the file. I'm going to the tileset directory. I'm importing background. It's 32 by 32 tiles, so perfect. I'm clicking. Oh, wait. let's do this slowly again. I'm clicking browse, background. I need to click embed in map. It's really important. And I'm clicking OK. Right. Now I'm doing the same with the foreground. So I'm going on the foreground, clicking here, embedding it in map. OK. So in the tile set here, I should now have somewhere my background and my foreground. It's actually images that I loaded as a tile set. It's a bit of a cheat, but yeah, it's going to work. I need to resize my map so that it's fitting exactly the size of the old map. So for this, I can go back to the tile set here and have a look at the size of my map. So in the properties, I can see in the details the size of the map. So how many tiles does it do? I need to divide this by 32. So let's take a calculator. So this is 55 tiles wide and 60 tiles high, 55 by 60. So let's resize this inside tile. In tile, I go to the map section. I click resize map and I'm putting it here 55 by 60. Okay, so my map is now bigger. So before importing the tile set, I'm still doing to tidy a little bit. If you go on the floor layer, you can see there are a bunch of zones that we are going to remove. You can click on the objects layer and simply select those and delete them with the delete key. And in the collisions layer, we have a bunch of things. Maybe finally what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to remove this layer and recreate a collisions layer that is empty. It's going to be easier later. All right. So now let's take the background tiles and let's select all the tiles and let's paste those. If the map is too big, you can click Ctrl and use the arrow, the mouse to zoom out so you can see everything and click at once. Oh, I put it on the wrong layer. I put it on the collision layer. So let me undo this. Select the background because this is where I want to put the asset and click again. Now I'm going to select the foreground layer, click on the foreground tile set, select everything again and put those here. And now I have my map that is correctly set up inside tile. I still need to add the collisions. You know what Gather calls impassable tiles, we call them collision tiles. And to do this, you can go and select, we have a special tile set for that, which is special zones, and we have this block tile here, and basically you can put the block tile wherever we should block and wherever the workers should not be able. Don't forget, press the H key, otherwise you don't see where you put your blocks. If you press the H key, it's making the layers above the block layer transparent, so you can see what you are actually doing. And I'm not going to do that completely here because it would take too much time, but you get the idea. You can put your blocking tiles here. All right. So once this is done, you can go to File, oops, and save your map. Excellent. Now we need to put this map and send it to WorkAdventure. In order to send it to WorkAdventure, you need to have an account. If you did not register an account yet, you should do it now. To create a WorkAdventure account, you can simply click the register link here and enter an email address. You can enter a password. And you need to click the agreeing the terms and conditions. After that, you can simply fill in your name, your company name. It's kind of important to have it correct because it's going to be part of the URL of your room. But here I'm just gonna call it test video. Activity it's optional. What you want to use it for and your country. Next. Now you need to give your name a word. So I'm going to call it test video 2, but you can call it whatever you want. And it's going to be also part of the URL. And we ask you to select a map template, which you don't really care because you have your custom map, but you need to pick one anyway. So pick one at random. Let's click next. And the last thing you have to do is to check your email and fill in the code. So I just checked my email. And we should be ready to get started. Okay. Now that I have my world, I'm going to be connected automatically to my world. All right, I'm going to skip the tutorial. What you want to do is to connect to the admin dashboard. So you click in map and in back office here, and you'll be brought to the back office. Select your world here. You see you have a map here. Now we are going to upload more maps here. But in order to upload those maps, we need to have a special security token and the URL where we want to upload things. You can find those in the developers menu in the API key settings. So what we are interested in the map storage API endpoint, and we need to create a token. So I'm going to call it upload, but you can really call it whatever you want. And we have here a secret token that you will use to upload your maps. Okay, so now it's getting slightly technical, not too much. I hope you already installed Node.js. What we are going to do is we are going to open a terminal. I'm going inside the map starter kit, right clicking here and selecting open in terminal. From here, I need to type npm install to download all the dependencies needed to upload the map. So let's wait a little bit while everything is being downloaded. Good. Now that everything is downloaded, we can run npm run upload. The first time you are going to run this command, WorkAdventure is going to ask you a few details. First, it's building the map, which means it's trying to optimize it as much as possible. And when the map is built, you are presented with what you need to do next. So what you need to do is basically go back to the admin dashboard and copy the map storage API endpoint. And we are going to put this as the map storage URL here. Okay. And then my API key. So let's get it also. I'm copying it here and I'm pasting it here. Finally, you can choose a default directory name. I'll keep maps here. And the map should be uploading. And it seems it's already done. So let's go back to our admin panel and see what it looks like. I'm going back to the admin panel here, clicking my words, test video, and you see we have the R2 TMJ files, conference and office. I did not bother renaming it, but it's indeed our map. If I click on office here and I'm waiting a little bit, I'll be redirected to WorkAdventure. And after a short while, I should be able to see my map. Hey, look, success. I managed to take my map from Gather and put it inside WorkAdventure. And you see here I put some colliding tiles so I cannot go through the wall. The foreground and the background is correctly working because my Woka is hidden behind this wall and cannot move because of the collisions just below. So everything should be now working properly. Success! All right, I hope you followed along. I still need to talk about one special case. It's the case where you've been using the Gather mapmaker with Gather assets. If you've been doing so, inside Tile, you should replace any Gather assets with other assets. Where can you find those assets? Well, here are some tips. My first tip would be to go to itch.io, which is a platform that has numerous assets, and have a look at Lime2 assets. It's for sale, but it's really cheap, like $2. And it's a huge amount of assets you can use in your maps. If you don't want to do that yourself, if it's taking too much time, you can also ask our ecosystem, and especially in this case, I would recommend to contact ComponentWorks and Kilian at ComponentWorks. Kilian is actually the designer who designed the map I've been migrating. He knows Gather and WorkAdventure very well, and he knows how to do migration. So if you don't want to do it yourself, go and ask Kilian or ask us directly. You can send us an email at hello@workadventure.re. Okay. So that's about it for today. I hope you managed to follow along, and that will make your migration step easier. Once you've been doing all this, you can start enjoying what is available in WorkAdventure that you don't have in Gather. Play with bot. Don't hesitate to have a look at the documentation. And if you are a developer, have a look at the scripting APIs that will allow you to build amazing custom maps with custom events. And finally, don't hesitate to come and see us in our virtual office. They are pretty easy to find. You just go to workadventure.re and you press the try for free button, and you can talk to me directly or any one of the team. Okay, thanks very much and see you soon. Bye-bye.